Hi KOA, this is Jeff Sutherland from the KOA Home Office, and this training video is on one of our analysis reports, the Occupancy and Revenue by Day report. So if I click on my analysis report options and select Occupancy and Revenue by Day, let's take a look at our options here. The default date range is today looking forward 120 days. And you can change the start date and end date to days in the past, days in the future, it doesn't matter. But the report will only run for a maximum of 365 days between start date and end date. If the start date is in the past, you're going to see occupancy on the books. So for those dates, it would be people who actually stayed on the sites for those days. If it's a forward-looking date, it's going to be anybody who is on site now on those days, or based on your advanced reservations booked as of this point in time, it's almost a projected occupancy. This report can be a bit overwhelming if you run it for all sites, so let me just select one pricing group and generate the report. And so because I took the report options, the dates as the default, it's really showing it from beginning today, October 9th, 2018, for 120 days. If I start to scroll down, you'll see that. Let me go back up to the top and explain the columns. So it's a week number of the year. The site class is going to be A for accommodations, R for RVs, T for tent, and then the pricing group that I selected. The sites are the total active sites in your inventory right now. The number occupied is of those 10, how many are occupied right now, and then a % occupied. From there, moving towards the columns on the right, we get what makes up that occupancy as well as the revenue for those days. So here's a short-term occupied. That's the number of people who are on the full back-end pricing group for a short-term stay. There's none, so there's no revenue as well. We have 2 guests that are staying with monthly revenue attached, and 3 guests on site with a seasonal revenue attached, and you can see that we're attributing $20.97 per day for those 2 and $54.30 to those 3. So that's basically your PCN broken out for each of the type of revenue stays that we have: short-term, monthly, and seasonal. Now the reason that this report can get a bit overwhelming is we show the pricing group for each day. So if I back up here and do my edit report options, and let me just pick all of my RV sites. Now when we generate the report for every pricing group that makes up our RV site class, there's going to be 1 entry per day. So in this particular campground, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 pricing groups within my RV site class, so I've got 5 rows for each day. That's why it's kind of nice to filter it down to a particular pricing group. And you can imagine if you have 30 pricing groups at your KOA, then you're going to have 30 rows for each day that you list it. That's why we also give you the option to sort by pricing group or date to make sure that you can get best use of this report. Let me go back to just a simpler view. And I'm going to just back it up so that we are seeing what happened for the month of July. For a particular pricing group. And here we'll see that we have some short-term occupancy that make up our total occupied sites. Ooh, I like that PCN a lot better. I like that revenue per day a lot better than what I see on some of the monthly and some of the seasonals. But you can see here that we have 21 deluxe cabins. 3 are occupied for 14%. And of those, all of them are short-term stays generating close to $600 per day. And as you scroll down through, you're going to see one for every day. This report doesn't have any totals down at the bottom because it's not really relevant to total overall occupancy. But this gives you a good view that you can compare one period to the next if you run the report twice, and you'll be able to get a good idea, especially historically, what your occupancy is by pricing group, as well as the revenue that the pricing group is generated when you take a look at short-term, monthly, and seasonal. Pretty simple report to use. I hope that you get good use out of it, and thanks for watching the video.